Sure, hold it. Sure. Oh, irritating. What's your name? I'm calling her out. What's your name? Catherine? Catherine, right? All right, guys. Sorry about that. I am back. Like, I've never been gone. Look, Cox Internet sucks here in Las Vegas. Let me tell you something about Cox Internet. They're horrible. In fact, I just tried talking to him today, right now, as internet timed out, and she's like, "Oh, the internet's working again." Yeah, no crap, because we freaking complained about it. Secondly, she's like, "Oh, it was working when I turned, so you won't get a credit or anything like that." Look, I pay top dollar to have top dollar service. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should get what you pay for. And then she's like, "Oh, I like basically I don't believe you." I said, "Just go to beastwriter.com. Just go to YouTube. Just go to my YouTube channel. Just Google BEASTwriter. It'll pop up." She's like, "I can't see the link." I said, "Oh, that's fine. Just Google BEASTwriter." And I just typed it out, and she went, "Mom." And she says she understands, but she really doesn't understand, because shouldn't I get a credit? I don't know, because then it makes me look bad when I pay how much are we paying? $165. $165 a month for internet. That's what you get from Cox. I'm telling you, I'm nice. Being told I was making stuff up. All you gotta do is Google the live stream. You guys were all in it. I'm just saying, man. Look, we're all about good vibes only, but then when you try to call me a liar saying, "Oh, it was only down 2 to 3 minutes." Look, that's still 2 to 3 minutes that I paid for on a live stream, mind you. It wasn't like something that was intermittent. Anyways, whatever. It isn't whatever, but it is what it is. Happy Sunday Fun Day. That's something that we can all talk about, right? Cox. Who has Cox? Call him out. Cox uses coaxial cable and internet, which is why they suck. I can't disagree. Look, when I moved here to Vegas, and back in the Bay Area, we had either have what? I think we have AT&T. Some nowadays you can get Verizon if it's in your area, so I'm hoping for that, because I want Verizon. Verizon is never a bad thing. But anyways, I'm just really heated. We had a lot of people. We had 47 people on this on the previous live stream before it timed out. And she said she cannot give me a refund. Is she gonna buy me back all those viewers that I just lost? Because for me, that's a lot. For us, that's a lot in the DOB. I'm just saying, Cox is horrible. Horrible. Dan says, "All good, brother. People are jumping back in." Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Cox right now. I'm joking. We're talking about Josh Jacobs. Let's talk about Josh Jacobs. I don't know where I left off, because I don't know when Cox decided not to give me access to internet service, paying $165 a month. So where did I leave off? Can you guys drop a comment and tell me where I left off, so I can leave no stone unturned? I don't want to start all over again. I guess I can start all over again, but I'm pretty funny. Like, you're getting upset about the internet timing out, bro. Chill out. Take a chill pill. It's like, no, man, it's unprofessional. It's unprofessional. When it starts affecting my back pocket, that's when we have issues. But we were talking about Josh Jacobs. You guys know where I left off if you guys watched the first live stream. Which, by the way, someone was probably saying, "Oh man, Beast didn't pay his bills." Oh man! All right, there's 19 of you guys watching it. Give this video a thumbs up. We were up to a lot of thumbs up before the video even started. I think. Let me just go back here and see where we were at. But I was really, really agitated that she said she can't give us a refund. And I said, I want to talk to your manager. Which, by the way, I'm gonna get a refund. Beast always gonna get a refund. All right, Lefarious Monster said you were talking about how he asked for respect. Okay, yes. Obviously, the headline. He says respect goes both ways, would hate to see it, right? And so, like, I understand that not everyone is on social media. I understand that not everyone is how should I say this? Not everyone is in line with what's going on, right? Because you're not on Instagram, you're not following all the social media platforms. But this is what said. This is what Josh Jacobs said. All right. He said respect goes both ways, would hate to see it. Now, is that a throwing shade at the Las Vegas Raiders? I don't know. We don't know. But why would you see this one day before the deadline of signing that non-exclusive franchise tag? Jeremy Willis, he says, Will Anderson, Carter, Witherspoon, Gonzalez, Bijan Robinson. Who is your top three? Top three. Oh, Will Anderson be one. It's hard to leave out Jalen Carter. I love Jalen Carter a lot. I mean, I like the kid. I don't know him personally, but I like the kid what I see on film. I always got to reiterate that because a lot of times I know players and get to know the players, and so, but this one I don't know. Geez, I am having difficulties today. I'm trying to open this water bottle and look how it came off. Like, literally, what are the odds that it comes off like this? I'm just saying, today is not a good day for Beast. That's strike two. Like, you understand what's happening right now, right? Like, I can't screw it back on because it'll drip if I was to put this away. Anyways, whatever. This is hilarious. Maybe I shouldn't be talking. Maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't be talking about Josh Jacobs and what he posted on Instagram. Or maybe this is one of those things where maybe I should talk about Josh Jacobs because Daniel Kim says beasted the water ball. Like, look, like I don't know how the hell. I mean, I'm just so mad right now. I think I should just lay off touching anything. It's gonna break. I'm gonna crush something. No, to get back to your question, in regards to what's going on with the whole dynamic on the valuation versus evaluation, right? So we talked about why I valued. If you watch my previous YouTube video up on the community page, I talked about what Josh Jacobs was valued at, 12.2 to about 15 million APY. And the reason I gave those numbers is very simple. When you look at the analytics and the landscape of the other 31 other NFL teams and the top running backs at their respective positions, when you grade the snap, not the box score, 12.2 to 12.5, you're looking at Nick Chubb money. Nick Chubb, to me, Georgia product, right? Just like Zeus White, just like James Cook, right? Herschel Walker, Garrison Hurst, all right? All Georgia products, right? RBU, running back U. It's really not, but we can call it that. That's like the $12.2 to $12.5 million range, right? And so when you take Nick Chubb, who's a top 5 running back in my grading system, and then you see what the Cleveland Browns did when they had Jack Conklin there. Obviously, he's there. He's the right tackle, Pro Bowl right tackle, all pro as well. And then you have Jedrick Wills, Roll Tide Roll. And then you have also, who else do they have there? They have a lot of good players there. They had Wyatt Tiller there. They also had Joe Botonio there. So, I mean, you look at 4 of their 5 offensive linemen are like Pro Bowl level players. And Josh Jacobs did more with less. No offense to the Raiders offensive line, but people making out to seem like the Raiders offensive line is like one of the best offensive lines in football. And I disagree with that. Now, I'm not saying I'm throwing shade at the Raiders. Like, I'm just keeping it 100. Like I told you guys, I keep it fair, right? Like, and you can agree to disagree, right? That's cool. Like, players disagree with me all the time. No, they really don't. But I mean, you can, but the proof is in the pudding. Just turn on the game film and see what you're getting compensated at, see what you're getting paid. And Don't take my word for it. What is GM Dave Ziegler doing? Right? So I like Colton Miller, Pro Bowl potential, Pro Bowl player. I love him. Love Dylan Parham. I love all the guys, actually. I like Dylan Parham. Again, he has Pro Bowl potential on the left side. But then you can also move him to his natural right guard position, right? Which he played at. And then you talk about Andre James, very, very smart, savvy, undrafted rookie free agent, and very, very good football player. But, you can always have the iron sharpens iron mentality, bring in new guys. I get it, right? But the right side needs help. I mean, Jermaine Illuminor, Alex Bars, like those guys. But are they Pro Bowl caliber players? Let's be 100% honest with that. If GM don't take my word for it, but if GM Dave Ziegler, again, there's layers to this, and I'm going to talk about Josh Jacobs and how it relates to it. But there's layers to this, right? Because Josh Jacobs or no running back, for that matter, can have great success without a stable offensive line in front. Just like Jimmy Garoppolo can't have a successful season if he doesn't have time to throw the football and go through his progressions. Just like the wide receiver is not going to have a very good year if his offensive line can't back up front. And on top of that, can't sustain their blocks for the receivers to run their routes, especially on the intermediate to longer routes, right? If it's based on that down in distance. So again, all this plays a role and comes back to the trenches. And so when you look at that for what it really is and how Josh Jacobs really played extremely well, I mean, look, didn't he rush for 1,600 plus rushing yards, which paced the NFL, like led the NFL? He had, what else did he have? I believe he had 93 first downs rushing, which ranked first in the NFL. He averaged 97.2 yards, rushing yards per game, which ranked first in the NFL. I mean, these are metrics that you all look for if you're an analytical guy and say, hey, look, pay the guy. And he's young. Usually as you hit your second year contract, you're like 26, maybe, right? 24, 20, like 20. Yeah, I guess you'd be like 24, 25, 26, right? Somewhere in there. More like 25, 26. Because I think nowadays people are staying longer rather than coming out earlier. He's very young. And although there's tread on his tires, he's still very young. But do you value him at what I value him at 15 million APY, right? Because again, 12.2 to 12.5, you're looking at Nick Chubb money. You're looking at Derrick Henry money. You're looking at Dalvin Cook money. The tier 2 players in that salary cap range in the APY, now you're moving up in that 15 million range, which is Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook. Oh, sorry, not Dalvin Cook. I just said Dalvin Cook. Ezekiel Elliott and Alvin Kamara, right? And if you were to ask me, and I talked about this on my earlier static video that I posted up on the community page. And again, you guys are going to watch that. I'm just regurgitating news that I already posted. It's like, I'm just repeating myself, but if you're new to follow me, this way you can get a baseline of how I like to formulate my analysis when coming to a conclusion and drawing to a narrative that I believe is fair, honest, and predictable in terms of how I see it playing out. Ezekiel Elliott and Alvin Kamara. Okay, let's talk about those two players. Ezekiel Elliott's a free agent. So the Dallas Cowboys, I know they had Tony Pollard there, right? But at the end of the day, was Ezekiel Elliott worth $15 million? No, he definitely wasn't. He wasn't even top 5 running back in my grading system over the last 3-4 years. Don't be a household name reader. It just doesn't work out. It doesn't work out that way. That's why they Tony Pollard. But you can see what Jerry Jones did. It's like, man, I'm not going to pay you $15 million APY. Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints, now with Derek Carr, right? What's going to happen with him? We don't know. But what we do know is he's in that 15 million APY range. Is Josh Jacobs better than Alvin Kamara? You can make a case that he is, and you can also make a case that he isn't, based on how the scheme fit works in your system or the team that you're rooting for, or the team that he's on, whatever the case may be. The tier after that is the highest paid running back in the NFL, and that goes to the San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey at 60 million APY. So for me, I would rather... You can see why Josh Jacobs is upset, right? Because the top 5 running back money for a non-exclusive tag, correct me if I'm wrong, it's at 10.1 million. 10.1 million is not even top 5 money. So again, we just broke down the numbers of the top running backs in the NFL. You want to talk about top 5 money, you're looking at 12.5 to 15 million APY for Josh Jacobs, which is why maybe he's not getting it, which is why he's like, hey, man, like I'm not going to sign this non-exclusive franchise tag if you're not even going to meet me in the middle. Now, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying theoretically what can happen. There's 31 of you guys liking it. Please like this. video and give it a thumbs up. I would thumb down the other video because we timed out. It wasn't my problem, but it was Cox. Thanks, Cox. I appreciate it. Are you going to buy back that time back? No. I don't know. I've been having so many issues with Cox, and I remember the nation. You guys been telling me that you guys live in the Vegas area, that Cox was bad, and I was like, made a bad choice. I should have stuck to. There was another one. Gosh, what was the other internet provider? Anyways, yeah, horrible. Daryl Dwayne says, "Love what you do. Love what you're doing, Beast, my ninja. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, and I love you being in here." Talking about the Raiders, silver and black. You guys have a voice. I know I'm a beat writer coming from 49ers and just wrapped up my first year here in Vegas as a Raiders beat writer back in 2022, now going on in 2023. So I'm fairly new. But I always kept it 100, and I always say this. I'm going to use my platform to give you guys a voice because you guys are really the bloodline of my business, of what we do here in the DOB, and you guys are family. So I want to get your feedback. Like, this is not one of the, I know more than you type of channels. I don't have to go there because I'm a beat writer. There's only a handful of us there, right? So like, I don't have to prove myself to anyone, but I do have to prove to the nation that I do know what I'm talking about. And if you follow me over the years, you will come to know that the Beast Receipts check out more times than not. And I have to do it. And people are asking me why you keep talking about yourself, because I'm not backed up by a huge network like ESPN, NFL Network, some of these bigger networks that are out here in the Las Vegas area. I'm not backed up by a casino, right? Who says, "Oh man, BEASTwriter made this Beast receipt and he was right on the prediction. So therefore, you guys got to follow him." I'm my own hype man, bro. I'm a one-man show. I'm the lighting guy. I'm the sound check guy. I'm the live stream guy. Which, by the way, I did a horrible job on the live streaming, just the video previous to this, because Cox went out. But not my fault. But I don't like making excuses. It is my fault. Maybe I should pay $2,000 a month for non-internet connection to not be timed out. I don't know. $165 a month for internet connection from Cox, man. Come on, bro. Come on. It has to be working, right? Like, you pay that much, you expect. That's the unlimited plan, too. Don't you want to keep your loyal customers happy, especially the ones that pay you the most? I don't know. That's just me. But every customer should be valued, no matter if it's a penny or a lot. But I'm just saying, technically, if money talks, we all know what walks. Getting tired of Cox and they're making excuses for why things are happening. Don't make excuses. It's all about results. Daniel King says, possible contract. I posted in the chat during our 2-minute time. 2-minute. He says 2-minute timeout. It was more like I started at 8 and I just hopped back on 19 minutes ago. It was like a 40-minute timeout. It was like a halftime show. Like, it wasn't even a halftime show because halftime is 15 minutes. It was more like a Super Bowl halftime show with Janet Jackson running the show with Justin Timberlake. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Anyways. A 2-minute break. 3-year, $39 million, $13 million APY with $25 to $30 million guaranteed with an out clause after the first year in case of injury or production drop. I like that. Because then you're doing a couple different things. You're giving Josh Jacobs the respect that, hey, we value you. Can't even speak right now. I'm so peed off. We value you at this, but we have to protect ourselves from that. Because as we know, running backs get hurt. And if he's going to be the workhorse with Jimmy Garoppolo being the quarterback under center, he needs that running back. And under that system, I'm not so confident. Although I love Zeus White, I think he has Pro Bowl potential. The sample size is just not enough for me to say he can take on the lion's share of the reps in 2023. Love Britton Brown too. 2 guys I really got to know. Talk to them every single day during the season. But are we confident that these guys can get it done consistently? And if they do draft one, and I already talked about this yesterday and the day before that, the Raiders are going to end up with 2 first-round picks when it's all said and done. 2. They're going to trade out of 7. They're not going to draft at 7. Mark that down. Write that down. I talked about this back on January 11th and January 19th. I talked about them trading down, not trading up. They're not going to trade up. Now watch them do it. I don't see them doing it. Again, I'm coming from San Francisco. I'm looking at the dynamic that John Lynch used and Martin Mayhew used and Adam Peters used in order to give Jimmy Garoppolo the best chance to win. What did he do back in 2017, 2018? I have to go back in the dirty archives, right? We're going back 5 years here. But if you go back 5 years of body of work, and it's common ground to know, Martin Mayhew was the GM of the Detroit Lions, right? Before he came on with the San Francisco 49ers. And who did he bring with him? Who did the Niners trade for from the Detroit Lions? It was a guy by the name of Lincoln Tomlinson, a former first-round pick, interior guard. Then what did they do? They went out and got Weston Richburg, starting center. Then they went out and traded for Trent Williams, All-Pro, a Hall of Fame blindside left tackle. And then they drafted right tackle Mike McGlinchey. You guys keeping up? That's 4 pieces for Jimmy Garoppolo to operate with. You don't think that GM Dave Ziegler is going to take that same MO, method of operation, and say, hey, look, let's go get ourselves a Peter Skoronski, an interior guard, best interior guard in this draft class, head and shoulders above the rest. Let's keep him on the left side, kick him in inside next to Colton Miller, move Dylan Parham to his natural position at right guard because that's what he played at Memphis. Still have Andre James there, and then the right tackle position is manned up by Jermaine Illuminor. That's a hell of an offensive line. I think if you plug and play that line as opposed to, and give Josh Jacobs every opportunity to see a hole, hit a hole with that vision and that power-based run scheme, I think that'll be beneficial. Technically has says O-line is good, even Miller getting questionable. A lot of people are saying the O-line is good. I don't think it's that. And again, I like the players. I like the players personally. I know them personally. But iron sharpens iron. There's 36 of you guys liking this video, not liking it yet, that are watching this video. Give this video a thumbs up. And again, we are pushing the algorithm here on YouTube because we want other like-minded nation like yourselves to subscribe to the channel. So if you're new to following us, aloha and welcome. This is all about the good vibes only. I'm going to give you guys a voice. So that's why I'm dropping these comments. Some people are like, oh man, like I don't like following these other channels because they only respond to super chats and that you're not going to get that here. I always love super chats. Don't get it twisted because they do help out with the upkeep of the channel. And this is my 9 to 5. So if you'd like to support, you guys can send me a super chat or a super sticker. Or if you're watching the replay, you guys can also send me a super thanks. Oh my goodness. All right. Daniel Kim says our O-line is suspect until we can shore up the right side. Yep. I agree. I agree 110%. And I know players always watch my stuff. It's not a secret. They watch all the beat writer stuff. It's bulletin board material. It's good. I think that's great motivation because I'm not the one saying it. BEASTwriter saying it. I'm not the one saying it. You know, Vinny's saying, I mean, let's put it on. We all have an opinion, whether good or bad, whether you agree or not. At the end of the day, it's bulletin board material because we're the ones there asking the questions. We're the ones there as our 9 to 5. So it's only a handful of us that get that. I'm just saying, of course, it's bulletin board material. And I would be upset if I was one of the Raiders. I wouldn't be upset. I would actually be like, okay, fool, I'll prove you wrong. I'll prove to you that I can be a Pro Bowl player. Now, I'm not saying Jermaine Illuminor can't be a Pro Bowl player. He can. I'm not saying Alex Suarez cannot be a Pro Bowl player. He can. But we have to see it on the field. That's all I'm saying is we don't know what we don't know. And up to this point, they haven't been named to a Pro Bowl. And who cares about Pro Bowl anyway? That's a household voting contest anyways. I want to see if they can make an all-pro team. To me, that's the cream of the crop. To me, that should be the standard. Like Max Crosby, is an all-pro in my estimation. Got my vote for PFWA, Pro Football Writers Association. And yes, I have year-end voting rights for those who don't know. All right. Jimmy Lopez says, love your inside beats. Great knowledge. You can't get anywhere else. Keep it up, please. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate this. This makes it worthwhile for me. I mean, you guys hyping me up because I can hype my own self up like But hearing it from you guys are the other bloodline. You guys are what makes the DOB go. Without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today, which is why I run these giveaways. I just, before I hop in on this live stream, I actually shipped out 2 gifts, care packages to people here who subscribe to the YouTube channel as a simple thank you. And I'm not talking about simple like $5 gifts. I mean, I spent $55 on these gifts. So 55 plus on these gifts. So I mean, you're getting something, right, in return. And that's not including the shipping and handling and all that other crap that's expensive. It's expensive. Shipping has gone up. I remember when I was shipping stuff from even back in the Bay Area, when I was shipping stuff to Niner fans, right? It was just like, oh, $3.49. Or if it's 2 pounds, it's like, oh, it's $4.89. Now it's like, nah, man. Inflation is like $9.25, literally $9. I was like, $9.25. God dang. That's expensive. Okay, whatever. It's not whatever, but dang, that's expensive. Raider says, NFL players talk to each other. Do you think star players don't want to play for McDaniels? Therefore, we are unfortunate. Sorry. Therefore, we are unfortunately, I can't even talk. Therefore, we are unfortunately holding Jacobs hostage. No, I wouldn't say that, but because I talked to Josh Jacobs about it, right? What was the comparison within John Gruden and Coach McDaniels? What did he say? He literally said this, right? If you watch my locker room pulse interviews, you will know what Josh Jacobs said in the locker room. He said, and I'm not going to say, and I quote, because I don't remember verbatim, obviously, but he did go on and say that John Gruden was a good coach, but Coach McDaniels was literally different. Like, he just can put players in business. He sees it from a different lens. He sees the game on a different level. He's just a different beast. And we all looked at that and said, like, whoa, where'd that come from? Like, that was cool. And I know the nation don't like Coach McDaniels. Look, I get it. I'm one of the few, and trust me, in the media, everyone thinks that Coach, well, not everyone, I would say 85 to 90% of the people think Coach McDaniels, how do I say it? They're not saying not a fan of him. I mean, personally, I don't know what their relationship is, but I would say 80 to 85% of the beat writers are probably in line with the rest of you guys. Me, I'm going against the grain a little bit because I see how Coach McDaniels runs his ship from a different lens, because I was there in San Francisco when John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan did the same. And believe me, those times covering the San Francisco freaking 49ers, when they had Jim Tomsula back in 2015, when they had Chip Kelly in 2016, were not easy years for me to cover. Kevin Lurker says, how about a true short-term contract, 2-year, $28 million, fully guaranteed? Daniel Kim's hit the lights and the bell notification to get the DOB in front of the nation. Yes, please do that. If you like my analysis, and again, I'm not going to be everyone's flavor. I understand that, right? Not everyone's going to like me for my bodybuilding grind. Not everyone's going to like me for my selfie pics that I take on Instagram because I get paid for it, because I'm an Evogen athlete and I bodybuild as my 9 to 5. I know I don't have to explain my life story, but to some people, they don't know my story. So I have to tell them because they don't know. What they don't know, they don't know, right? And so, yes, people, I'm not going to be, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that. I'm just like, either I know or you don't know, but it's not my job to tell you what I do know and what I don't know. It's up to you to choose whether or not you want to follow this flavor, which is me. You know what I'm saying? So like, you're going to get things from a different perspective, from a different angle, a lot of times, not for clickbait. I never do that for clickbait, but for an honest assessment based on my grading film study. And from when I watch film to know what to look for and know what questions to ask on game days, and then the game after, talking to the coaches in my coaches corner interviews, and then also my locker room pulse interviews as the game comes to a close, and then on to the new, right? So you're getting a lot of different layers here. In training camp, that's where I really blew up. You guys know, if you follow me on Twitter, I was trending on Bleacher Report. I mean, it made headlines all the way back to the Bay Area. And then also within the NFL circle, because people didn't know I switched from the Niners to the Raiders, and they're like, oh, you're covering the Raiders. And so it was really, really cool. Hopefully we can get that kind of vibe here on YouTube. That's the goal. Mark says 2 questions, Beast. Any sneaky under the radar linebackers or safeties you can see Zig targeting day 2 or 3? What protein powder do you recommend for putting on muscle? This is a great question. I'm going to answer this for you. And again, there's different layers to this. Before I do that, I just want to say there's 27 of you guys watching it. Give this video a thumbs up. It's 9:15 p.m. We're about 31 minutes and 16 seconds into this live stream. And again, I wouldn't be here without you. So please give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to donate, you guys can do that. Just send me a super chat or super sticker if you're watching on YouTube. There's also a option on Facebook Live now because we're doing Facebook Live videos as we're streaming. And they're called stars. So if you want to give me a star, you guys can send me. I never got a star yet, by the way. So I really don't know how it works, but Facebook obviously has a star option and you can give stars. I don't know who goes on Facebook. I'm just saying, I don't know who goes on Facebook anyways. To be honest with you, I just do it to check up on my family and friends and relatives. And then I just scroll. Like, I don't even like, I feel like a douchebag. Like, I don't even swipe stuff. I just scroll. I'm like, well, I wonder what that person, oh, she got married. Oh, he got married. Oh, he has 2 kids. Oh, who's that? We all do it. Stop acting like you don't do it. We all do it. Thanks, Mark Zuckerberg. No, but man, I remember when Facebook days back in college at San Diego State, it was, if you guys know about this, it was, you had to have a college email address in order to get a Facebook. And then it was called the Facebook. And then it was categorized by what college you went to. It was pretty cool. UC Davis was one of my top categories because I had like, I think it was like 133 friends that went there. I don't know, something ridiculous. Anyways, how many friends do I have now total? Probably 1, just me. So getting back to your question, 2 questions, please. Any sneaky under the radar linebackers or safeties you can see Zig targeting day 2 or 3? Everyone's talking about safeties. Everyone's talking about underneath defenders and pass coverage. I see it on social media. We all follow the same content creators. And we also all follow all the beat writers. I am not as sold as some of these guys are putting out some of this footage. That's why you haven't heard anything from me. Because I just think it's a waste of time. Now, there are good finds on day 2. I am going to talk about a certain few players that I really like. As far as a coverage linebacker, I mean, you look at Drew Sanders. I mean, he's not a sneaky under the radar guy, but Drew Sanders is the guy that I liked at Alabama before he transferred to Arkansas. Thanks, Drew Sanders. I always thought he was a monster, but again, didn't get his opportunity for whatever reason under Nick Saban, and then chose Arkansas to stick with the powerhouse SEC. I really like him. Jack Campbell's another one. These aren't under the radar guys, but they're guys that can actually fill a need, right? On day 2. You don't pick these guys on day 1. I wouldn't. I don't have a first round grade on Drew Sanders. I don't have a first round grade on Jack Campbell. All right. I'm just putting it out there. I have a day 2 grade on them, which means a round 2 grade, but not day 1. So those are 2 guys right there that I think they can get at, whether they drafting 38th overall in the second round. They can also maneuver in the tail end of the first to go ahead and get a guy, even though he's not valued in my grading system as a round 1 pick. You can kind of move up a few spots, get the player that you actually targeted, because you have 12 draft picks to make, and you're not going to make all 12 draft picks. Whoever is saying that, unfollow them. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. And it's a bad analysis and it's a bad point of view. So when I say these mock drafts making 12 picks, that's not how it, that's just bad. It's bad for business. So moving down to the 3rd level, I really like, and I got to know him very well because I covered him at the East West Shrine Bowl and got an exclusive interview with him, is Trey Dean. Trey Dean was the East West Shrine Bowl MVP, and I got to interview him before having that MVP football game. And the reason I did that is because I was watching practice throughout the week, fully credentialed to go ahead and ask players questions and so forth throughout the week. So I kind of want to pick their brain, but also see how they practice. I knew Trey Dean was a guy that was going to shine on game day, just like I knew Jose Ramirez was going to shine on game day with that strip sack, just how I knew Dante Stills was going to have a big game, just how I knew Nehemiah Shelton was going to have an I mean, you can't, but that's why you follow me, right? Like, I watch practice, just like when training camp and OTAs and stuff, you guys are going to be looking for my stuff, right? First and foremost, because I know what to look for. Go watch the YouTube videos here. Check the Beast receipts, right? It's all categorized in a playlist. Go to my training camp videos. I explain in detail every single drill and why they run that drill and how it correlates to the NFL and how it correlates to the landscape of the other 31 teams and also how it correlates within the division because you play them twice a year. Not everyone can do that. But that's what, again, I'm that flavor. If you guys kind of like that stuff, you guys are going to want to see that. So those are a few players there. As far as protein powder, I am sponsored by Evogen. So I take Isoject. Isoject is a whey protein isolate. I am lactose intolerant, so that's why I take a WPI, and it works wonders. It's not the cheapest, obviously, because Evogen's very expensive compared to the cheaper brands that are out there. And people think all protein is created equal. It's not. I mean, to be honest with you, some of the players, I've seen some of the protein shakes they take, and it's not good. But it's not up to me to tell them that it's good or not good. Fair enough. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but at the end of the day, you have to know what to look for. And then there's a lot of different layers to this. So I trust what I take because it helps me win my shows, and the proof is in the pudding. That's why Evogen always wins our shows. Because we all do the same workouts, which is grueling enough, but supplements do play a role. It gives you that edge. So you have to know which ones to take. So I take Isoject. And again, if you want to see all the Evogen supplements, just use my code EvoBeast, not BEASTwriter, but EvoBeast, Evo for Evogen, and then EvoBeast. All of that is listed in the description box below here on YouTube. So at the end of every live stream or every video that I post here on YouTube, just scroll down and you'll see all my social media links listed below, and you'll see all my sponsorships listed below because I am an Evogen athlete, and it's in the description box below. So use code EvoBeast at checkout. You get and save 10% and support and save. And then if you have any questions on any supplements, whether it be BCAAs, whether it be stands for branched chain amino acids, and why you should have fermented BCAAs as opposed to non-fermented BCAAs. We talk about all that here. And that's strength and conditioning. Not a lot. You think players know what BCAAs to take? No, they don't know. That's not their job. You better make sure those BCAAs are fermented, bro. Just saying. I see a lot of unfermented stuff. Jimmy Lopez says, I know running backs don't really get paid all the time, but it is a bad look to get to other free agents if we don't pay our players or do much extensive business. That is a great question. That is a very good question. I think if you take Josh Jacobs out of the equation and you don't pay him, that's going to send a huge message to the locker room. Like, are we tanking? I mean, it's Josh Jacobs, but then you have to understand the valuation versus evaluation. But in the player's mind, they don't understand that. That's not their job. Again, that's not their job. They don't have time to do that. They're too busy trying to earn their next paycheck, right? Like, but I tell you this, if you want the Raiders to win, and you truly want the Raiders to win, you cut off the head of the snake that makes that offense go, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo being a game-managing quarterback that needs a strong rushing attack backed up by a strong defense. You're going to need Josh Jacobs playing behind you, bro. JCSD, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Evogen creatine mono, worth it? That is a great question. And yes, it is. I've been taking it and creatine, if you guys want to know what mono is, it's not mono like what Alex Leatherwood had. It's a monohydrate. And so, yes, I take creatine. I absolutely love creatine. I was against creatine because, again, it makes you feel bloated. I'm not going to sit here and lie. It makes me feel so bloated. Like, I feel bad for girls when they have their PMS because they get bloated. So, I mean, I know that feeling now. It's not fun. So, it all depends on how your body reacts to it. For me, creatine, I do get bloated. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I don't get bloated, but it does work. Like, my gains are strong. But, again, I'm not on creatine right now, by the way. I've been off creatine for a while now, well over a year. So I'll be honest with you, it's not in my Evogen stack. All right, my Evogen stack right now is Carnitine, which is a fat converter. We talked about that earlier. My stack, what I'm known for with Evogen, is called the B stack. All right, the Evo B stack. And the Evo B stack consists of Lipicide IR or Lipicide Extreme, which is a form of a pill, and Carnitine, which is a fat converter. That's what I take before my workout. And then I take EVP3D, which is a pre-workout. I take 1 scoop of that. And then during my workout, I take AminoJect, which I'm taking right now. The flavor is strawberry margarita. And again, you want fermented BCAAs. All right. You don't want non-fermented BCAAs. That's the cheap stuff. It's laced, by the way. If you want cheap BCAAs, here's a fun fact for you guys. Go ahead and get non-fermented BCAAs, which is leucine, isoleucine, valine, right? Those are the 3 most found components in the BCAA intra-workout. And on top of that, I guarantee you the ratio won't be 2-1-1. Because if you know, leucine, isoleucine, valine are all not created equal for muscle building and MPS, muscle protein synthesis. How do I know this? This is what I do. Strength and conditioning plays a role. That's why the DOB has a barbell and fitness. That's what I do. I personal train, online coach. I do all that. I work out with the players. You guys know. But yeah. But thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I do like the creatine though. I'm not gonna say it's clean. It's pure. Do you see who else? I think who was taking it recently on Evogen? I just gotta oh, you just reminded me. I gotta talk to my my coach about that. Raider says, is Devin White worth the money he is asking for? I think so. I don't think so. I don't think Devin White, in my grading system, he's horrible in off-ball coverage. We talked about Devin White in an earlier live stream, so be sure to check out everything I had to say about Devin White in the earlier live stream. All you got to do is search my playlist or search my videos here on YouTube. But it is posted there. You're going to learn a lot about why I don't like Devin White. But why I do like Devin White too, right? There's kind of like, it's not saying I don't like Devin White. I should not say that because he's one of the top 10 off-ball linebackers in the game. But I don't like him for a variety of different reasons at that valuation versus evaluation that you just pointed out, why he's asking for so much money. Sean Jackson says, cornerback Mekhi Blackman from USC, he's 4th best graded in man and 3rd best graded in zone, according to PFF, and they have him going in the 7th. Kind of weird that late. Yeah, I mean, I don't rely on PFF, to be honest with you. That's why I have my own grading system. I always say I have a brain, I like to use it, but I understand that people don't have a grading system like me. But I just don't like it when people just go off PFF as if that's the baseline. It irritates me. But then again, not irritates me for you guys, because I mean, you guys only have so many hours. You guys work, right? Like this is not your 9 to 5, so I don't expect you. But content creators and all these other people that put out PFF stuff, they're good. There's a reason why they're PFF, but they're not the end all be all. Trust me on that. Called them out a few times on stuff and they unfollowed me on Twitter, but not in a mean way. I don't call them out in a mean way. It's not like, oh yeah, I know more than you. Cause yeah. Okay. Cool story, bro. That's why everyone compares PFF, not, but then again, some players call them out with my DOB grades. How do you adjust and avoid workout plateau gains? That is a great question. It could be rest. It could be sleep. It could be a question of just muscle memory, doing the same thing over and over again, and your body getting used to those types of workouts, right? There's a lot of different things. Could be you're not eating enough. Could be you're eating too much, right? It could be the supplements that you take. There's a lot of different reasons why a person plateaus. I always say the greatest risk in life is not taking one. And so I always tell people to go out of their comfort zone when they work out, because if you get used to doing the same thing over and over again, like for instance, let's say tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, what I hit today, I hit biceps and shoulders. So tomorrow I'm probably going to hit, what am I going to hit tomorrow? Back. Okay. Let's say tomorrow I hit back, just full on back day, right? Well, usually I start with a lat pull down, kind of get warmed up, do 1 working set and then 3 hard sets, right? And so that'll be 1 workout, right? Well, tomorrow I'm probably going to switch it up. Instead of doing lat pull downs, I'm going to start off with like back extensions or deadlifts, right? So now you're switching it up a little bit. You're going from building up the lats to now building up your lower back. And then how does that kind of trick your mind into thinking that it's doing? Because usually I do my back extensions last. I do deadlifts kind of like last, right? And you can do them in the middle, whatever, to each their own, right? But for me, I like to do all the accessory parts toward the end, but then tomorrow I'll probably do it in the beginning just to kind of throw off my body. And then I don't want my muscles to plateau. I want to get bigger within reason. I don't want to be too big. That would be bad. Drew Smoke, what's up, Beast and Nation? What's going on, my guy? Appreciate it. Oh, yes. Raider says, what Raider linebackers do you think is better than Devin White? I already know, man. In my grading system, you can look at Shaquille Leonard, you can look at Fred Warner, and you can also look at Roquan Smith. Those three right there are way better than Devin White. Holla at your boy. I got grades. I broke it down again. If you want to know exactly my take on Devin White, go back after this live stream is over. Go watch what I had to say on Devin White. Raider says, what's the thin line between overtraining? How should we gauge our rest, work time, and nutrition? I'm a firm believer in their overtraining is a mindset. Like if you guys followed me on Instagram, for which you guys probably don't, or didn't, I mean, I've been posting stuff like at the gym for like 6-8 hours at a time. Not joking. It's been well documented. People know that I don't get tired. My coach even on prep has to tailor back. He's like, man, you're like the Energizer Bunny, man. You just keep going. Burn 1,000 calories in under an hour on a Stairmaster. That'd be my warm up. Sometimes I burn 2,000 calories in under 2 hours, right? And people, oh man, that's overtraining. How do you have time to work out? Like, aren't you tired after your workout? It's like, nah, man, like, because my body got used to doing it. Like, if your body gets used to doing something, you have to do things again out of your comfort zone. So I could be lifting. Today I lifted for 3 hours straight. 3 hours straight, did 14 exercises, 4 sets per exercise times 8 to 12 reps per set. So you do the math. That's a lot of lifting. And people are saying, man, you're overtraining. Yeah, but to you, it's overtraining. To me, it's just normal. To me, it's just beast. So like, I don't believe in overtraining. I believe you should push yourself as hard as you can and push your limits. Because once your mind thinks, oh, you're overtraining, then it's like, oh man, like, okay, in the Marines, right? I'm not saying I'm a Marine, but look at the Marine mentality, right? Like, you think they're like, oh man, your body's tired, so you gotta stop. They're like, no, man, like, you gotta go run another 10 miles. I'm sorry, we're just halfway done. Like, what are you talking about? So this has turned into a fitness thing. He says, do you eat more on leg days? I always do. I don't. The types of foods I eat depends on what my coach wants, but I typically don't. Our schedule when you're a bodybuilder is pretty much straightforward. Now, on some days you may have a little bit more carbs pre and post workout as opposed to other days when you hit leg day. But at the end of the day, it's it's pretty much standardized. So I don't, and that's the thing, especially in the off season, right? Like people say, oh, it's bulking season. Like during the holidays, it's like, nah, man, like that's just a lazy way of saying I'm going to get fat. Like, no offense to anyone, but that's how I look at it. Like, that's just a poor excuse for saying I'm going to get fat. For me, I would like to keep the lean muscle mass and build on that muscle. But to each their own, right? Like, oh, how do you do that? It's like, man, well, look at, like, this is how I do it. Like, you can't knock it. And then I don't know, man. I don't know how people say, oh, it's bulking season. I'm like, good luck with that. Tin John says, how about Quindell Johnson and Jordan Howden? Haven't graded any of those two guys yet, to be honest with you. Just to be 100% honest with you. There's 30 of you guys on this live stream right now. If you like it, smash the like button, give it a thumbs up, and holla at your boy. We are about 49 minutes and 33 seconds in. A like is free. So again, love engaging with you on this platform. But again, if you like the silver and black content that I provide here on YouTube, give this video a thumbs up, and it would help me out a lot. And mahalo for doing that. So do that right now. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to go ahead and do that before you go ahead and answer any more of these questions that you have before I get going here. I'm going through Facebook. People liking it on Facebook. That's good. Get yourself a YouTube channel so be entered for our BEASTwriter family giveaways. And you won't miss a beat from someone on the beat. Robert Pena's in the house. This is Mahalo Beast. What's going on, my guy? How are you doing? All right, let's see. It was crazy. The last live stream was horrible. I apologize because we had to, it was timed out. It was horrible. I apologize. It was really bad. It was a bad look. It wasn't my fault. Blame it on Cox. Daniel Kim says, Beast, worst case scenario, if we have to trade JJ, what do you think his trade valuation is? Well, if the Raiders had the balls to do it, which I'm not saying they don't have the balls to do it. I'm joking. All right. Like, I'm not that dude to say that kind of stuff. But if this actual scenario, let me get some more. This cap thing is really screwed up. Hold on. Oh man. All right. I feel like a 4-year-old kid just spilling everywhere. Lost my train of thought here. What were we talking about? Oh, if Josh Jacobs was to get traded, what's his trade value? His trade value for me would be somewhere. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of a late round pick, late first round pick, like a round 1 pick, but not like a top 15. Again, you have to look at this, right? So if he was to get moved, which I hate to say, I mean, anything can happen in the NFL, like you never know. Like, what if Josh Jacobs decides to hold out? Let's just say hypothetically, what if he decides to hold out, doesn't sign the deal and requests a trade, like so many other, like Buda Baker or someone else, right? Like, let's say he just does that. Like, I don't want to play for you, dude. I want to request a trade. I can see them trading him for a late one. And I think a team like the Baltimore Ravens, even though they don't have the cap space on the GM Eric DeCosta, he could pull a trigger because they run a power-based run scheme. I know they have J.K. Dobbins there, but he's been injured a lot coming out of the Ohio State University back in 2020. You look at the Eagles. Howie Roseman can definitely use a running back, right? He doesn't have Miles Sanders there, obviously. And so he does have Bart Scott, has Kenneth Gainwell there, but who are those guys? I mean, I love not Bart Scott. His name, Boston Scott. Bart Scott. I'm thinking of the Baltimore Ravens. Boston Scott. They do have the diminutive yet shifty running back, but Josh Jacobs is on a different level. And again, Jalen Hurts could use a Josh Jacobs. Roll, tie, roll. I could see him being in play. And the Philadelphia Eagles have 2 first-round picks, so they can afford to lose one because they already have one. That makes sense? And they have the cap space. I think they have, gosh, I don't know. Someone can run the numbers on this. I think the last time I checked, which was 2 days ago, they had in excess of $20 million in cap space. Correct me if I'm wrong, and tell me if I'm wrong, please. But I think they have in excess $20 million in cap space to kind of sign and make a play for Josh Jacobs if they see fit. Kaloa says, thank you, Beast, for keeping it real. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I try to keep things real. I try to keep things honest and fair. Look, not everyone's going to agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone's going to agree with me, but more times than not, I'm usually right. Like, I get it right. So it's just like, for me, it's like, if you disagree with me, more times than not, you'll be looking like not the bad guy, but the guy who looks not dumb, but all right. We got a lot of people here. Jeremy Willis says JJ Eckler or Bijan Robinson. I like Josh Jacobs. Give me Josh Jacobs any day of the week. Robinson says, let me check my notes what you were talking about. Yeah, look, let me write this down. Man. Down says, but like you said, we can't cut the head off of our offensive engine. We have to find a way to sign JJ. I agree, man. Like, and again, I'd be lying to you to say I'm not biased, right? Like, not biased from a beat writer perspective, biased from my personal relationship that I have with JJ. Like, I like JJ a lot. Like, I voted him for the Good Guy Award, right? Like, he won the Good Guy Award for being the best player engaging with the media, right? He won that award. Like, all of us in the media love JJ, right? There's not, if you say you don't like JJ and you're in the media, it's like there's something wrong with you. Like, you're the one that's wrong, bro. Like, or girl, whatever the case may be. Everyone loves JJ. So if we and we're the media, Like, what the heck? Like, so if we like JJ, and I know that for a fact the players love JJ and the coaching staff loves JJ. In fact, they made him a team captain mid-season. Who does that? Who makes a player a team captain mid-season? Like, as a coach, I never did that. I never made a player. Oh, by the way, I made a mistake. Let me just make you a team captain because you're the best player on our team. Let me just do it. Like, what? That says a lot about who JJ is. Like, you cannot, that's how much respect. You want to talk about respect, JJ, right? JJ talking about respect. That's how much respect he has in that locker room. The fact that probably players were talking, but like, JJ needs to be a team captain. So let's make him a team captain. Remember talking to a Coach McDaniels, he started off the presser. If I'm not mistaken, I got to go back and look. It's up here on YouTube too. You guys can look it out after this live stream concludes. But we're sitting there in our office. I call it my office or our office because that's where we work. And then the players and coaches come to us, right, in the media workroom, right? The media workroom's our office for beat writers. And so we're sitting there, and there's only a handful of us in there. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I just want to make an announcement that Josh Jacobs is a team captain." It's like, "Oh, how'd that happen?" And then I have thinking, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, it's about time." No, but that says a lot about who Josh Jacobs is, right? Like, honestly. So I don't know, man. Like, I say pay Josh Jacobs. I know the nation are like, "Oh, he's a running back. We can find running backs in later rounds," but are they going to replicate Josh Jacobs' production? And people are talking about, "Oh, he's going to get hurt." Anybody can get hurt. Deebo Samuel got hurt with the 49ers after signing that big contract, and he was injured even before that. So what? Still one of the best wide receivers in the game. He's 2 years removed from being a first-team All-Pro. Come on, guys. But at the end of the day, I get it. And then the other side of me says, well, I understand because it is a running back and it's a pass-happy league. So we can find running backs in later rounds. But the valuation versus evaluation is the simple fact that all pros don't grow on trees. That's why they're named to the all-pro team, not the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl is like 3 or 4 best players. All pro is like you're the best player in the NFL at your respective position. That's what an all-pro represents. Pro Bowl is like you're in that cluster. You're in that cluster that I always talk about trading down with the Raiders and getting cluster players. You're in that cluster of good players, but you're not great. All pro is great status. Daniel Kiss says, which is exactly why we need to resign our captain and let him lead. Yeah. Raiders, I agree with you. Raiders says, do you think smart NFL defensive coordinators will sit on shorter wide receiver routes and test Jimmy G's accuracy throwing deep and outside the numbers? Absolutely, I would. I talked about this all the time when I was with the 49ers. Like, he is a 1 to 2 read quarterback. If you want to see my Jimmy Garoppolo clip-ups of game film study, just, again, go back and you can just type in Jimmy Garoppolo BEASTwriter, or just go to my YouTube channel and just type in Jimmy Garoppolo and stuff will pop up. But is that to say that Jimmy Garoppolo can't throw outside the numbers? I'm not saying that. Because we all can improve, right? Like, I can improve. Like, I'm horrible, right? I'll be honest with you. Let's keep it 100. I am not the best on scheduling live streams, right? You guys don't even know when I hop on. You guys just know, oh, you get the notification that I'm hopping on because you subscribe to my channel and you turn on the bell notifications, which is just good. But I'm just saying, it would be good for you guys to know when I'm popping up, right? So I can do better, right? Like, so what I do this past week, I was on a scheduled live stream Monday through Friday, and you guys all had the expectation of when I was going live, so you guys can kind of set time and watch the replay if you have to watch the replay and can't catch it in real time. So I'm not saying that Jimmy Garoppolo can't do the same thing and adjust and make the necessary adjustments for him to be a deep, accurate downfield thrower. What I'm saying is I haven't seen it. And again, we all have issues. I have issues as a beat writer staying on schedule here on the YouTube channel with my live streams. But I'm doing a better job at it. And so it's like what Jim Harbaugh always told me. You either get better or worse. You never remain the same. Every day you wake up, you either get better or worse. You never remain the same. Always took that with me. Daniel Kim says you can find running backs, but leadership doesn't grow on trees either. And he has both. Oh, great analysis. Wow. Josh Jacobs, if you're watching this, Daniel Kim, why don't you save the DK receipt? Let me write that down. Let me write that down, Daniel Kim, and say, oh, yeah, that's right. And his. Good analysis, Daniel Kim. Raider says, who should be our starting center? Andre James. Why would it not be Andre James? I mean, who else do they have right now? Dylan Parham could play center, but you want to keep him on at guard. So I would say Andre James. And I like Andre James. I like him. Good guy. Jimmy Lopez, just like I like Jermaine Illuminor, good guy. Alex Barr is a good guy. Colt Miller, good guy. Dylan Parham, good guy. Jimmy Hronis Grasu, good guy. Covered him with the 49ers. Jimmy Lopez says, why is JJ so quick but can still get caught from behind? What do you grade his breakaway speed? What do I grade his breakaway speed? That is a great question. On a scale of a 10, I mean, he looked very slow on that. What is that? The 86-yard touchdown against Seattle, up in Seattle to win the game. He can get caught from behind there. I mean, it all depends on, again, when you talk about long range speed, I think he still has it. 8 out of a 10. Raider says, Patrick Graham likes your questioning, and so do I. Keep up the great work, Beast. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys are new to follow me, Coach Graham says I asked the best questions, went on record and said it before answering my question. He's like, I like everyone's questions, but yours, I really like yours. You asked really good questions, man. I like your questions the best. No bigger compliment from a coach. I got that a lot from Jim O'Neill. He was also the defense coordinator from the Raiders, but I covered him under Chip Kelly's staff in San Francisco. The Niners, Chip Kelly said I ask good questions. John Lynch loves my questions. I always throw back a throwback for him so he can take a stroll down memory lane, and he always loves that. Playing with the Tampa Bay Bucks, that was one of my favorite teams growing up, and he was on it. And I was like, man, dude, you were the hardest. Like, we talked. When I was like, John, bro, you used to lay the wood, bro. Like, the enforcer would even be polite. You were like the killer. Like, John Lynch was a beast, dude. That guy was just one of the best safeties ever, John Lynch. But yeah, no, I just love talking football, man. X's and O's. Doesn't matter what team I'm talking about. I can talk about the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars right now if you want to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. We can talk about Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence. We can talk about all these types of players that are on these respective teams. Trayvon Walker. Who else do they got there? Oh, man. But no, thank you so much. I appreciate it. There's 22 of you guys watching it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and spread the word to other like-minded nation like yourselves. I apologize on the earlier live stream. If you were wondering why there's 2 videos of the same exact thing, that's because the last one was cut out. And I apologize for that. Because Cox internet was not working and I paid for it. Oh, man. Daniel Kiss, I enjoy analytical football content. Beast, along with a few others, are great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Tian Jiang says, what do you think of our new D-line coach? I don't know too much about him, I'll be honest with you. So I'll leave it at that because I'm going to it'd be good asking me this question, Tian, once training camp rolls around, because then I can teach and show you guys exactly how they're teaching their coaching techniques and then how they want to apply that on the field. That will be the time to ask me this question. It's unfair to ask a question about, I think in my position, about a positional coach when I don't even know how he runs his practices. Does that make sense? Like, I want to give the guy a benefit of the doubt, because that's fair, right? That's fair. There's people already who are saying, oh, he sucks. Who is he? Like, he's garbage. It's like, how can you say that? Did you ever cover him? Like, Whatever. Teach their own. Not really. That's kind of a bad take. There's 26 of you guys watching it. If you guys like the video, give this video a thumbs up and be sure to share this on other social media platforms that you're on. So again, the bigger we grow, the bigger the prizes and giveaways every Friday that we run our weekly live stream giveaways here in the DOB exclusively for people here on YouTube. So if you're watching on Facebook, do yourself a solid, get a YouTube channel. If you're on Gmail, if everyone has it, who doesn't have a Gmail account? I mean, no one's on Yahoo these days, right? Who has it? Isn't it weird? I know I'm going off topic, but isn't it weird? I think it's kind of weird that someone would still have a Yahoo account, like a Yahoo email address. Like, yeah, what's your email address? Oh yeah, it's BEASTwriter@yahoo.com. Now watch someone make it and pretend to be me. I ain't on Yahoo, just FYI. Or what's the other one? SBCglobal.net. That's another one, right? SBCglobal.net. Remember SBCglobal.net? Who remembers SBCglobal.net? Daniel Kim says, with Nichols and Farrell growing over the off season, will they be able to get to the quarterback, or are we going to need another inside defensive lineman to collapse the pocket? I think I'm being 100% honest right now. I think that we need another interior defensive tackle who can kind of push the pocket. Like that. Like push. Yeah. So to answer your question, I think they need more reinforcements there. Which I like Kyle Pecco. My guy, Kyle Pecco, is still a free agent. He needs to be re-signed by the Raiders. I know they're thinking about re-signing him. A source close to the situation confirms that Kyle Pecco is one of those guys that the Raiders want to re-sign and bring back. All right. There's been discussions there. All right. Reported this 2 weeks ago. Or sorry, last week. Reported this last week. Oh, no, it was 2 weeks ago. And I also reported that the Jets were also interested. And then who they go out and sign? A defensive lineman. Just a week later. So my sources are pretty much spot on. You're welcome, Tien. Daniel Kim says, Yahoo is my junk email account. Ooh, yes. I don't have a junk email account. Although I should get one. Though. All right, we're an hour and 8 minutes in. There's 27 of you guys watching it. If you like it, please give this a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, you guys can do so just like JC_SD did. Thank you so much. And he had a question about my Evogen products that I use as I'm an Evogen athlete on Team Evogen. Good things are coming, by the way, with Evogen. We are launching a few cool things behind the scenes. They're going to be working with me here on YouTube. So we have a lot of good things going with Evogen. Just keep it posted, man. But it's no surprise here in the DOB. It's the same thing applies when I was with the Niners, right? What I wear all the time, Evogen, right? At Raiders headquarters, at Allegiant Stadium, what I always wear, Evogen. So again, I'm like a walking billboard. Right? Have my Bay Area Rooted swag on. That's my clothing line that I founded, Bay Area Rooted LLC. Then I have my Evogen supplements company that I'm on, right? Team Evogen. So I wear their swag. The DOB swag I wear. Man, I'm like a walking billboard. Daniel Kim says, I like Tuli out of SC. What do you think about him? Tuli, how do you pronounce his last name? But I do like him. I have to run more grades on him. I'm not going to sit here and lie. So I'll get back to you on that, Daniel Kim. He says, Daniel Kim, On2Six also donated on the first live. He did. Thank you so much, On2Six. You did. You definitely donated on the first live stream, and I appreciate that before it got caught out. Maybe that super chat can go toward the... No. I already pay the highest price for Cox Internet, and it's still timed out on me. Raider says, please look for Scott Turner's influence on your offense. Look for motion, choice routes, spread formations, and vertical passing games, although we lack proper personnel for a vertical passing game. That is very true. And I talked about Scott Turner and the Air Coryell offense and talked about that dynamics of how it's going to affect the players on the team and why he was brought in the first place. So again, if you guys want to see what I had to say about Scott Turner, go ahead after this live stream concludes and just type in Scott Turner, and you can see that here on the BEASTwriter channel. Got you covered, but no, great analysis. Tago Vailoa. That's your last name. I got to do research on him. Got to do more work on him. In fact, I was trying to get more film on SC products in general. All right, the 26 of you guys watching it. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to the live stream as we discuss Josh Jacobs and what it would take to make Josh Jacobs happy, right? And I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on with Josh Jacobs and the Raiders. I mean, but I can always speculate, right? Within reason, right? Just not gonna speculate. Just say, oh yeah, voila. I think there's a contract snag. I think that's common knowledge, right? Obviously, he would have signed it by now or a long-term deal. So we don't know what's going on, man. We really don't know what's going on, but I explained in detail exactly why I think is going on, but that's just my opinion. So, all right, we're going to cut out this live stream. We're an hour and 12 minutes in, 25 of you guys watching it. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. And again, we are leaving no stone unturned. We'll be back tomorrow, hopping on another live stream for our Pick 6 at 6 live stream. So Pick 6 at 6 p.m., we will be going ahead and talking all things silver and black for another Pick 6 live stream. That's on Monday and Tuesday. See? Just like Jimmy Garoppolo is getting better with his downfield accuracy, I'm getting better with my scheduled live streams. See? Iron sharpens iron. I got to hold myself accountable. So Pick 6 at 6, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday will be a blitz pickup. Time to be determined because I don't know when the guest can come on, if there's a guest. Thursday, we are doing what did I call it? I named the show. I forgot the name of the show. I called it Don't Miss a Beat from a Guy on the Beat. And the goal is to have a fellow beat writer that I work with, a fellow coworker who's a beat writer. Would be Vinny Bonsignori, PG. It could be, whoever, right? Or one of the beat writers, Ed Graney. It could be my boy Case, right? It could be Heidi, Cassie, Adam, Kevin Bollinger from Local 5 Las Vegas. Could be a number of different people. Could be Vic. Could be Tashawn. We don't know. But the goal is to have one other beat writer on the show because it'd be good to not only get my insight because I'm a beat writer, right? I'm not just your typical content influencer who just goes on from home and talks. Like I'm there Monday through Friday. I'm one of the hand-selected beat writers covering the Las Vegas Raiders. Very, very, very honored to have that title of a beat writer. So I want to give you guys access to another beat writer every Thursday, and you guys can pick his brain. You guys can pick my brain all you guys want, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but it's good to find another piece to that puzzle on whatever it is we're trying to find out, right? Like what makes this guy tick? Like what makes this girl tick? Like what do they see that I'm missing, right? I mean, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So I think those are cool. And then also we're doing a Mahalo Friday or what's called a 4th and goal segment. So we'll do a rundown. Again, that will be a time to be determined because every Friday, I mean, sometimes I get in headquarters late and I get out late depending on when we're allowed to get locker room pulse interviews and player interviews and so forth. So that will be on Friday, giving you the rundown on that week's opponent leading up to the big game so you guys can make your bets, which you guys all made money off of, obviously. But no, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it, man. It's been fun. It's just one of those things where I love talking about the nation. You know, it's something that I love talking to you guys. You guys have opened me up to a lot of different things and welcomed me with open arms, right? And so I want to say thank you to all you guys, man. So again, I wanted to give a small token of my appreciation, give you guys a voice, right? And I used the same blueprint with the 49ers, right? With the 49ers faithful, and they liked it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring that vibe to the nation because that's what makes you guys feel like you're being heard. I feel like again, me being a beat writer, yes, it holds some kind of standard, right? But at the end of the day, I think everyone, no matter boy, girl, man, woman, it doesn't matter. You guys are all entitled to an opinion. And I feel like you guys need to be heard. And so I hope YouTube gives you guys that platform. I really do. Um, so again, tell all your family and friends about the nation that we're trying to build here in the DOB, right? When you're part of the DOB, Dark Side of BEASTwriter, your family, and we're going to do giveaways. We're going to launch some swag. We're already launching decal stickers that are weather resistant, water resistant, die cut, all top quality stuff. All our gear is top quality, made and designed in the USA. Like I don't outsource anything. So it's a little bit more expensive. Actually, it's a lot more expensive. I can get stuff made in China for a fraction of the price. Like literally, like let's say a blank tee costs $18 wholesale. Okay. A good blank tee will run about $12 to $13 wholesale. All right. Then you get the screen print on it made and designed here. That's another $7, $8. So you're looking at a $17, $18 shirt. Well, if I was to outsource that same exact logo, that same exact shirt, and outsource it to China, you know how much I can get that for? $2.50. But the quality is not there. The sizing may be wrong. I'm not about that life. So stay tuned for the DOB swag. It's going to be fire. I guarantee it. And I'm all about quality, not quantity. Oh, man, this is some good stuff. Same beat time, same BEASTwriter. I like it. Let me write that down. And all you guys been nothing but good vibes, man. Honestly, I got my guy D-Menace in here. On to Six Soldier. Thank you so much for another super chat. He says the cost to move back up in the first round. What is the cost to move back up into tail end? Okay, so let me write this down. I'll go ahead and answer this for you because I got the analytics on it and I run grades on all 32 NFL teams and their tendencies, biases, because all not trade valuation charts are created equal. Discussed this earlier, and I hate when people use the trade valuation chart as if it's the Bible. It's not. Like, stop. Different scout departments have different tendencies. Stop it. I get really angry. Stop it. Can you stop? Oh, man. I'm going to pull it up for you. Give me a second, right fast. Can you just stop it? All right. What do we got here? I want to know if I put it up in here yet. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I did not do it yet. It's in this other folder. Okay. So what would it take to move up back up in the tail end of the first round? Correct? Correct. Tail end of the first round to me is the 28th to 32nd spot. All right, 28 to 32. All right. So in order for the Raiders to move back up in the 28 to 32 range since 2011, let's just go ahead and look at the analytics of it, right? Back in 2011, to move up to number 28, the Saints gave up a second-round pick, number 56 overall, and a future 2021 first-round pick to New England. Get that. The Patriot way. Let me repeat that. Oh, my gosh. Yes, in 2011, to move up to number 28, the Patriots got a future 2012 first round pick and a second round pick in that year's draft for the rights for the Saints to move up to 28. The following year in 2012, Minnesota gave up a second round pick and a fourth round pick to Baltimore for their draft rights at number 29, first strong safety Harrison Smith. All right, that was a Rick Spielman move. Let me write this down. In the same draft, the Bucs gave up a second round pick number 36 and fourth round pick number 101 to the Denver Broncos. The Bucs also received a fourth round pick number 126 for the draft rights to running back, the muscle hamster, Doug Martin of the Tampa Bay Bucs. In 2013, see, we're peeling back layers here. You wanted it. I'm giving you the lowdown. Onto Six Soldier says, let me write this down. Yeah, let me write this down and pass it off. I guarantee you someone's going to piggyback on this analysis and call him out. Because although it's common knowledge, they wouldn't have it off the top of their head right now. If someone, come on, let's be 100% honest about that. No, they wouldn't have this right in front of them. No, but they would write this down. So I talked about why, right, yesterday on why I believe the Raiders are going to move up in the back end of the tail end of the first round. But when you look at it for what it really is, you're looking at a round 2 pick and possibly a round 4 pick. So if you think you can get a tail end round 1 talent, which I don't see any tail end round 1 talents, because again, I only graded 16 players with round 1 grades, which means 17 through 32 are second round talented players anyways in my grading system. I still think that you can find value in trading back up in the tail end of the first round, because although there's only 16 first round grades by Beast, 32 picks have to be made anyways. And if you see, and they're sitting there at number 38, and you know that the player that you want is not going to be available at 38 because of the teams that are drafting ahead of you, why not move back up in the tail end on day 1, secure both players, make the beat writers happy, make me a happy person at Raiders headquarters, getting to interview 2 players on day 1. I would love it. I would love it. I remember when this happened, and I was at Levi Stadium, right? Levi's headquarters, whatever. Levi Stadium. The difference is at Levi Stadium, they play where they practice. All right. For those who don't know, here with the Las Vegas Raiders, they practice in Henderson. Their headquarters is in Henderson, Nevada. All right. But they play at Allegiant Stadium in Paradise. With the Niners, it's all in one place. Like literally where they practice is where they play. SAP Performance Facility is right adjacent to the stadium. Like when I say adjacent, like it's like walking distance, like here across the street to your neighbor's house. That's how close it is. So it's a little bit different. But I remember, speaking of 2 tail end first round picks, when I was talking to John Lynch right after the picks were made. And he knew I liked it. He knew I liked how I was talking about it. And they ended up with DeForest Buckner and Joshua Garnett, right? And I was like, oh, man, I like Joshua Garnett. I got to interview him at his 49ers local pro day because he was there. And again, he isn't like being called Josh. I called him Josh. He's like, oh, man, like my mom's going to not like this. Like, I was like, why? Like, he's like, oh, I go by Joshua. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, because my good friend at the time, his name is Joshua, but I call him Josh for short. And I didn't mean to offend him. He wasn't offended because I wasn't the only one calling him Josh. I mean, how many people say Joshua? Hey, Joshua. But I guess his mom wants him to call him Joshua, so it stuck. So I respect it. So I was like, oh, Joshua Garnett. And I was like, I thought this guy. By the way, check the beast receipt. I thought Joshua Garnett was going to be a monster, but I did think he was more tailor-made for a power-based run scheme. I thought he would be a good fit for like a AFC North team, like the Steelers or the Ravens. Ultimately, didn't really pan out, ended up being bust, so that beast receipt did not check out. But I did like the ideology of them going after an offensive lineman. I did like the idea of them solidifying the trenches at number 7 with DeForest Buckner, who I thought they would target and draft anyways. So speaking of number 7 overall, so the same dynamic here applies, right? Lightning strikes twice with the Raiders, right? They hold the number 7th overall pick. People saying they're going to go defense. I don't think they're going to hold the number 7th overall pick when it's all said and done. They're going to trade down, not up. They're going to trade down. Now watch them trade up to number 3. I just don't see it happening. Raider says, money and muscle, Mark Davis, Beast Rider. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I wish I had money. I just have muscle. But I wish I had the money. But I do have the muscle. Homegrown gains. Oh, man. People say, oh, he's a douchebag. He's flexing. It's like, man. I honest, just be honest with you, I flex in between sets sometimes just to get the blood flow. If you're a bodybuilder, you know all about it. The Hani Rambod Flex, Evogen. You know how I'm saying, when you're in the gym, just putting it out there, when you're in the gym and I'm practicing my stage presence, look, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like, oh, this guy thinks he's that, whatever. They don't know that grind, so they're not even in it. So I don't even worry about them. And the lion is not concerned with opinions of a sheep. All right. So when you go in the gym and people think you're weird for doing your workouts or whatever, or you're a little bit unconfident, man, don't mind them, bro. Girl, guy, doesn't matter. Just do you. Because you're in there. When you're in the gym, you're in there to focus on yourself and you don't care what anyone thinks. Like, as hard pill as that is to swallow, I had to break that mold because I truly cared what people thought of me inside the gym. Literally. I was a little insecure. Not going to lie. Everyone's a little insecure in their own ways. I was insecure. Oh, now I'm secure. I was insecure when I went to the gym before I started bodybuilding because I had to practice my stage presence. So, you know what my teammates did? They made me do it in front of everyone. And I was like, that's kind of weird with my shirt off, right? Whatever. Oh, people get scared with the shirt off. It's like, man, like, come on, stop. It's a gym. Like, do you go to the beach dressed up in a sweatshirt and sweats? No, it's a beach. So I see the whole thing with people getting like, oh my gosh, like you need to put a shirt on. It's like, oh my gosh. Man, if you saw my IG stories back in 2018, 2019, woo, pre-COVID, it was lit. It was lit. It was hilarious. There's some funny stories in real time. I mean, I was that dude that was like, what are we doing? But no, in seriousness, people ask me, when I practice my stage presence, how come I do so well on stage? It's because I practice in between each set. People take rest periods in between sets. I practice my stage presence. And my coach always said, practice your stage presence in between sets because practice makes perfect. It really does. And if it doesn't make perfect, it strives for perfection. All right, on to success facts. That's why I ask you, brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your super chat, bro. I appreciate your super chat. Raider says, did you ever get Denzel Perriman's real height and weight? I did not get Denzel Perriman's real height and weight. I do have a story. Me and Denzel Perriman, man, we both wear beanies. And if you guys know, I've been wearing beanies to the gym since 2016. All right, and also. All right. Because people know when I'm on prep, I always wore a mask, because I always raved back then. So I had an EDC mask type of deal on with the skull mask. And people knew I was on prep for a show, so they wouldn't bother me. That's why I had my mask on. So I was wearing a mask even pre-COVID at the gym. But anyways, getting back to your question on Denzel Perriman, I don't know his real height and weight. I'm thinking if I had to take a guess, he's definitely a 236, a solid body fat percentage, bro. Trust me, the dude is under 10% body fat. I'm telling you right now, the dude is under 10% body fat for sure. Under 10% body fat or about 10% body fat. One, because I can see his ab wall. He has a strong muscle belly. All right. That's things that you look for, and you can kind of create the body fat percentage based on just the look. And then from there, I'd be good, huh? I'd be a good scout in terms of testing a guy on, what's his body fat percentage at? Oh, yeah. I'm actually pretty good at this. But then again, his height, I would say he's about 5'11", 5'10". I'm short, so everyone looks taller than me. Even at 5'10", the dude looks taller than me because he's taller than me. I'm 5'5". So I'm vertically challenged, guys. Some people think I'm 6 foot. I'm like, man, I wish I was 5'8". I'm not even 6 foot, man. I'm not even 5'8". But anyways, no, thank you so much, everyone. So I just want to say a special thanks to everyone today that hopped on this live stream. I hope I kind of answered some questions for you as it pertains to Josh Jacobs. Again, there's a reason why I think he put up that Instagram post. Now, we don't really know the answer to that. It could be totally non-related to the Raiders, right? Like he could just it could be a separate issue. It could be a personal issue. We don't know. But the fact that he did it one day before having to sign that non-exclusive tag, it could be something. And we had to discuss it because you guys have been asking me, and I just gave you the evaluation once again on why it could potentially play a role and why he said what he said on IG story. So again, I hope that makes paints a little bit of a clearer picture for all of you guys. And again, want to give a shout out to everyone that supported me through the likes. There's 23 of you guys watching it. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys are watching the replay, also drop your comments. Thank you, everyone, for the comments. We got a lot of comments in here today. I just want to give a shout out to all you guys that left comments today. Hopefully, I answered every single one of those. Rob Banks was in here. I didn't see you, Rob Banks. My bad. We got all different kinds of fans in here. See, Vikings going quarterback at 23 this year. And again, I really cover all 32, as you can see. So when I say I have grades on all 32 teams, I do. right? That's why people follow me and all. Like, you don't. That's what makes this flavor cool, is because I don't just talk about the Raiders, although that's my main team I cover. But I have to know the landscape of the other teams in order to form my analysis on the team I'm covering. That's how I like to do business. Can't speak for anyone else. That's just how I like to do it. So I have a stronger conviction because I know I have a good, strong pulse on the other 31. It takes a lot of time. Don't have a life, but football's my life. Vikings going quarterback at 23 this year. That is a great question. That is a very, very good question. I don't know. Every time I think of the Vikings, I think of Christian Ponder. I don't know why. Going quarterback. I don't know why I think of Christian Ponder. Maybe because I thought it was a bad move. Yeah, that remains to be seen. I don't know. That's a great question. I think I'll answer this question as it gets closer to my mock draft formulation, which will be one day before the draft or the day of the draft, depending. And I'm not going to put a mock draft up until then because people keep copying my analysis and I'm getting tired of it. People say, "Oh, I have a big board." I'm just waiting to put up my big board. I saw that on Twitter and heard it on YouTube. I'm waiting to put my. It's like, nah, man, you're just waiting for me. Stop. Kalua says, "Forget putting on a shirt. Gotta appreciate your games." Yeah, man. Gotta appreciate my gains. Yeah, I do appreciate my gains, but it's just people get weirded out, and it's just like I don't know why you get weirded out. It's a gym. It's a gym. So it's football and fitness is what we do here in the DOB. Don't like it? Swipe left. If I'm not your flavor, swipe left. If you don't like seeing what's in that crystal ball, swipe left. It's okay. I'm just not your flavor. We got Las Vegas Raiders with Pharaoh NFL in here. He was on my show. He's a good guy. Him and Raider Ray. And again, go follow them. If you like silver and black content, they do a really good job. In fact, my stuff is amateur. You see this background? It's horrible. You go to theirs, it's good. It's like you're going to want to watch their show because of their background alone. And then once they open their mouths, it's like, man, these guys are good vibes only. I like it. So I'm really, really honored to have been on Raider Ray's show. They're up on my community page on YouTube, and they're going to post me up on theirs as well, what I've been told. So Pharaoh NFL and Raider Ray, I think it's Real Raider Ray. Follow these guys, and they're on YouTube, and they're tagged on my community page. So go ahead and give them a follow. We'll be doing more stuff with Raider Ray and Pharaoh NFL. Pharaoh, how are you doing, my guy? Are the Warriors playing right now? Pharaoh NFL is from the Bay, and he was like telling me, "So are you gonna watch the Warrior game?" I was like, "Oh man, I'll be honest. I like calling myself out. I think it's funny when I call myself out. You don't have to do it. I'll call myself out, like when I get stuff wrong. But we're talking about the Warriors, and luckily I didn't pull like a LeBron James, thinking like someone didn't play in that. By the way, bro. Anyways, if you don't know the story, just Google it. LeBron James NBA team or NFL team, or was it? Oh no, hockey team. Sorry, LeBron James hockey team. Anyways, talking about the NBA, and I was letting them know, like, hey man, I haven't been following basketball over the course of the last 2 years. I'll just be 100% honest, man. Ever since COVID hit, I haven't been off the grid, man. I haven't been to Chase Center. That's where the Warriors play now. For all you guys that don't know. And people are wondering, am I a Warriors fan? Am I a Lakers fan? I'll be 110% honest, all right? So I guess you can call me somewhat of a fair weather basketball fan, all right? Just putting it out there. I guess you can call me a fair weather. And here, my guy D-Menace put up his, this is what we should do. This is how we should collab, all right? This is how we should collab. You link the people that you collab with, so all you guys, go follow my guy right here, Pharaoh NFL. My boy D-Menace put it up there. He's one of our mods, and he's one of the BEASTwriter giveaway winners. And be sure to follow Pharaoh NFL. Does a really good job. But no, getting back to it, and I'm going to leave this up so you guys can follow him. Where was I going with this? Oh, the basketball. So I'm somewhat of a fair weather fan. Okay, let me tell you what happened. Grew up a Warriors fan. Went to Warriors games. Saw Run TMC, Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin. I can name them, right? I'm not a fair weather Warrior fan. Look, I'm old, But I can name Chris Gatling, number 25, Keith Jennings, number 2. All right. All these new Warrior fans who are just recent 2010 and newer, stop. You don't and then those who remember the Baron Davis days, okay, you're cool. Steven Jackson days, okay, I get it. Those were the ugliest jerseys during that time frame when they had, who else did they have on that team? Oh, Jason Richardson, right? Who else did they have on that team with those ugly jerseys? Bimbo Coles, I remember wearing. Muggsy Bogues was on the team wearing that ugly jersey with the thunder lightning bolts on the side there, and Thunder was the mascot. I think that was his name, Thunder. Gosh, that was the most ugliest jerseys. Latrell Sprewell, number 15, was on that team when they wore those jerseys through those years. PJ Carlissimo was the coach. I think Rick Adelman was also the coach. He used to coach the Portland Trail Blazers during the time when Chicago Bulls, and Michael Jordan was on the NBA Finals with Clyde Drexler and Buck Williams and Cliff Robinson. Number 3 wore the headband before headbands were cool back then. How do I know this? Because I was a huge basketball fan. And then the last 2, I want to say, once COVID hit, I was like, nah, man, I'm going off the grid because I'm not going to try to be, whatever. But look, I was a Warrior fan from day one, right? That's where I'm getting with, right? From born to about college, freshman year in college. I switched because I went to San Diego State. So I switched from Warriors to Lakers because of Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers are always on TV. So I loved Kobe Bryant, loved watching the Lakers, loved the way he played, liked that Mamba mentality. He didn't even have Mamba mentality back when I was in college. That didn't come up until later in his life. But yeah, I loved watching them, right? And so I was like, oh, Lakers are dope, man. Like Lakers are on. I know I'm a Warrior fan, but everyone's Lakers. All my friends in my fraternity were Lakers fans. They're from LA area. They're from Huntington Beach. They're from Ocean Beach. They're from Oceanside. They're from Manhattan Beach. I mean, now we're talking. My Phi-Psi bros. San Diego. Right? Coronado. Oh my gosh. Now we're talking. Encinitas. Okay, here we go. Everyone from SoCal, right? So I'm like, oh, I want to be cool too. Let me like the Lakers. I wasn't like that, but I liked Kobe Bryant. And I always liked Kobe Bryant and had respect for him. Although Allen Iverson, my favorite player of all time, not Michael Jordan. It was Allen Iverson. But getting back to it, was watching the Lakers. And then my ex at the time was a huge Lakers fan. So then, it's all documented. I was actually on TV when Kobe Bryant wasn't playing. I forgot what year it was at. I think it was like 2013, whatever. And I was at the Oakland Coliseum wearing my Kobe Bryant jersey, and she wore her Lower Merion Kobe Bryant jersey because she's a huge Kobe fan. And then what happened is we were on TV, got caught on TV, didn't know we were on TV. She had a huge sign, and people were like, oh man, like you were on TV, blah, 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 on Facebook when Facebook was hot, and it's not anymore. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. So I actually became a Laker fan because of her, because, whatever. And I wasn't really into Warriors at the time anyways. And so I was like, okay, cool. Then we broke up, and I was like, man, I hate the Lakers now. And then I started liking the Warriors, but the Warriors were already winning then, right? So, I mean, you're talking years later. And I was like, when I got back in basketball, I was like, oh, Warriors are cool now. And then they've always been cool. But, and once they started winning, I was like, I can't be a bandwagon fan because they're winning now. And all these new fans are pissing me off because they pretend they're Warriors fans, but they don't know about Chris Gatling. They don't know about Big Victor Alexander, number 52. They don't know about him. Stop. They don't know about Clifford Rozier, number 44. They don't know about him. They don't know about Todd Fuller at NC State, the lefty. They don't know about that. Man, come on, let's talk. They don't know about Michael Petrus, number 2. Remember Michael Petrus or Michael Petrus from France? Who? Who's that? Oh, I know Steph Curry. I know Klay Thompson. I know Draymond Green. I know Jordan Poole now. Nah, man. Let's go back. But I said to myself, you know what? I'm born and raised in the Bay. I've been a Warrior fan, been attending Warriors games since I was a kid. My family didn't have a lot of money, but the money that they did have, we would go to 49er games and Warrior games. And so they would take me to a game when they could afford it. And then we had season tickets to the Niners later on, but front row. But yeah, growing up, I was always watching the Warriors, right? Because they're always on Sports Channel. You guys remember Sports Channel? There was a sports channel, and before we had a cable box, and it was on 17A or 17B. I think it was 17A. Correct me if I'm. Remember the cable box, A or B? Disney Channel was on 25A or B. Remember? I remember that. Or was it? And Sports Center was on 5A or B. ESPN2 was on 6A or B. Bring back the cable box. We don't need Cox. We don't need Netflix. No, but Monta Ellis. Look, we're going back. Pharaoh's going back. He says Monta Ellis. And we're also putting up Raider Ray. Go follow my guy Raider Ray too on YouTube. But I'll leave that here too, so you guys can follow him because he brings really good stuff too. And those two guys do a really good job. They'll be on my show more, and I'll be hopping on their show more. So hopefully I get their guys to follow me and Nation in here to follow them, right? So you guys can work that out. Just do a cross-share follow. Oh, let's call it a cross-share follow. I like that. That's easier than just explaining how I said it. But I think it's good vibes, man. Like if you like Silver and Black content, check them out. And if you like what they have to say, follow them. Right? I'm not forcing you guys to do one thing or the other. Some people are saying, "Oh, you're forcing me." When I was with the Niners, "Oh, you're forcing me to follow somebody I don't want to follow." You don't have to follow them. It's up to you if you want to follow. I'm just saying, if you like their stuff, follow them. I think they're really good. I think they're solid people. That's just my opinion, though. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Here we go. Right? People get all upset about me supporting other people. It's like, no, man, I can support whoever I want. It's my channel. Get off my channel, bro. Daniel Kin says, Lakers, man, been a fan since 1982. I'm old, brother. Oh, man, Lakers fan since 1980. I can talk about Lakers now. We can talk. Let's do this right now. And by the way, we're an hour and 42 minutes in, and we're not even talking about, see, this is cool. So you guys get to know me on more of a personal level, right? It's not just, oh, he covers the Raiders. He lifts weights. You know, he's a bodybuilder. But let's get to know BEASTwriter Ryan Sakamoto for the person. This is what I love. And I want to get to know you guys. So I didn't even know Daniel Kim. By the way, I talked to Daniel Kim on a day-to-day basis. I didn't even know you were a Laker fan since 1982. I didn't know this. Yeah, I learned something new. This is a learning, educated channel. So if we're talking about the Lakers, okay, 1982. I wasn't born yet. But I'm old myself. And when I liked the Lakers, and again, I was teeter-tottering between the Lakers and the Warriors because I remember Sedale Threatt. I do remember Magic Johnson. I do remember Eldon Campbell, right? Number 41 with the flat top. I do remember guys like Cedric Ceballos, number 23. I do remember Nick the Quick Van Exel, number 9, who they got in the second round out of Cincinnati. One of my favorite players of all time. How do I know that? He had that little whoop in the eyebrow, bald head. That's why I went bald. I'm joking. But it's part of the reason why I went bald. Not joking. And so Nick the Quick, they also had Eddie Jones there, number 25. And then he switched his number to, I believe it was number 6 later on at a Temple. Come on now, someone talk to me. Who else did they have? I believe they had George Lynch. Man, we're going way back, man. If you want to talk about the Lakers in the 90s and the early 2000s and during that Showtime with Del Harris as their head coach, wouldn't start Kobe Bryant. That was the dumbest thing ever. But he was a great 6-man. I get it. But how can you sit Kobe Bryant? But I get Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel, the backcourt. I get that. And having Kobe, he's young. Come on. It was Kobe Bryant, bro. Las Vegas Rare says Bobby Sura, Chris Mills, Adano. Oh my God. Bobby Sura. Okay, so I'm doing this. Bobby Sura, off the top of my head, one of my favorite players. I know. Crazy, right? I don't know why I liked Bobby Sura because he wasn't really good, but he was on the Cleveland Cavaliers, wore number 3, went to Florida State, if I'm not mistaken, played with Peter Warwick, had a really good backcourt. Remember watching them on ESPN all the time at my elementary school, at the YMCA, waiting for daycare, waiting for my parents to pick me up. And always one of the last ones to leave. They were always on. And gosh, I remember watching the Delta Fountain Health halftime report. It was called the Delta Fountain Health halftime report with Digger Phelps. You guys remember Digger Phelps? If you don't know who Digger Phelps is, that means you are young and I am old. Digger Phelps was on. He had the halftime show. It was the Delta halftime show. And Bobby Sura was always like the player they talked about. And it was Jason Kidd and all these other players. But I mean, during that time, it was just funny because Bobby Sura, and then once he went to the Warriors, it's like, oh man, I like Bobby Sura. He's good. He's really not that great. Just look him up. Chris Mills actually dated my friend. I have stories about that. But yeah, Chris Mills was another guy, another first round pick. I think he came out of Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. Has green eyes, light skinned. And I liked him. I liked him as a player. I don't know why, but I liked him as a player. Donald Foyle was another one. I think he came out of Colgate, and he was a blocking machine. Didn't do much on the offense side of the basketball court. But on the flip side of that, he was a defensive stalwart, played center. Donald Foyle was another first round pick. I think he was a top 10 pick. What was he drafted? Like 8th overall or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Las Vegas Raiders. Pharaoh says, I'm also a Laker fan. Big Kobe fan. See, I'm not the only one, man. He says, Warriors sucked for a long time before Curry came along. For real. Daniel Kim says, nice. I'm definitely not a fair weather man. My wife is from the Bay. I get a lot of crap from them for my loyalties. Lakers, Raiders, Dodgers, USC. You know, the funny thing, the Dodgers and the Giants one is really, really, that scares me. Like, that scares me more than the 49ers Raider rivalry, which I'm not scared because, you know, I guess I can be on the fence because both of you fan bases love me. Or for the most part, right? No one likes you, BEASTwriter. Get off it. See, I joke around. If you're new to following me, I joke around a lot, right? So don't take everything I say with like, oh my gosh, at face value. No, getting to it though. No, but the Dodgers fans and the Giants fans, they hate each other, dude. Like, hate is a strong word, but they hate each other. Like, you guys hate each other. I don't know why. I know it's the oldest rivalry in all of sports or something like that. It is crazy. Daniel said, we'll see where the fans go once he's gone, but Curry's crazy. Curry is my favorite basketball player. Second favorite basketball player, I should say, of all time. Best shooter of all time, hands down. Some people said, oh, Larry Bird's better. Like, no, man, Larry Bird is not better than Steph Curry. As far as a shooter, all-around player, yes. All-around player, yes. But as a shooter, pure shooter, no. Daniel Kim says, Lakers have had some lean years after Magic retired and recently. Daniel Kim says, I'll welcome Beast, but he can't be a flip-flopper. I'm going to ask for him to be loyal to the soil, purple and gold, brother. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, man. I'm teetering that Lakers and I've been a huge Lakers fan, like I said, from the time Kobe was on the team. I even have an old Nike Swingman jersey, number 8, not number 24, number 8. So that's how far back my allegiance goes to Kobe Bryant. Gosh, rest in peace, Kobe, man. That was just so devastating when I heard that. Yeah. Still can't believe it. Rick Fox. Yes, I remember Rick Fox. And if you guys remember the movie Eddie, do you guys remember the movie Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg, right? Whoopi Goldberg was in it. Larry Johnson, I want to say, was in it. Maybe I'm wrong. A lot of basketball players were in that movie. Rick Fox was one of the main characters in that movie. He played for the New York Knicks. And so in the movie, who was that big, like, European guy? Yvonne McBasket. Remember Yvonne McBasket? Yvonne, take charge. Yvonne. Remember she was trying to tell him how to take a charge? You guys probably don't know what the movie Eddie is. Look up the movie Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg, and it's a pretty, like, low-key, like, early 90s movie or late 90s. It's a good movie. I used to watch that all the time during the summer. But Rick Fox was in it. Daniel K says, those are the years we'd make the playoffs as a 6-17 and just got bounced. Oh, yeah. Then Kobe Dundeezy. Speedy Claxton. That's another one of my favorite players. Played on the 76ers. Where did he play at? He played at a small school. Speedy. I want to say he went to Hofstra. If I'm not mistaken, I think he went to Hofstra. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he played at Hofstra or one of those schools that was like kind of lower level. And he also played for the Warriors. Speedy Claxton. I remember Speedy Claxton. He was also on the Sixers too. I'm so old. I saw God Shamgod play in college. I remember him. Didn't he play? He played the college jersey that he wore. God Shamgod. I want to say it was Providence. Am I right? Did he play for Providence? Shamgod had handles. There's a dribble move called the Shamgod. Kyrie uses it a lot. See, I had no idea. I didn't even know there was a move called the Shamgod. What about Michael Cooper, James Worthy? Yeah, those guys. Hey, man, I know about both those guys, number 21 and number 42. I'm telling you, I know basketball, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've been covering them for the last 2 years because I haven't. So I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say a no on if someone asks me, do you know, like, what do you think about, I'm like, man, I don't know. Although I could probably do all right for an average person, but I haven't watched a basketball game since when's the last basketball game I watched? Pre-COVID. Pre-COVID is when I will actually watch the basketball game. That's so crazy, right? Like, that's crazy. I don't know. He said, Sham God, yep, played at Providence. Ooh, there you go. Was he number 21? Something saying he's number 21. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know what number he was, but I'm just whatever. Showtime Lakers, Boston Celtics rivalry helped the NBA grow. It did. And then the Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons rivalry was the next one. And then I wanted the Warriors and Cavs to have one. I thought that would be cool. And it was kind of, but I wish Kyrie was still with the Cavs, and I wish LeBron was with the Cavs, and I still wish the Warriors had the team that they had. I think that would have been a huge, but no one wants to see a dynasty. That's the thing. No one wants to see a dynasty anymore. I love dynasties, by the way. I don't know about you guys, but in football, Raiders were considered a dynasty. Niners were considered a dynasty. Cowboys were considered a dynasty. That's when the NFL is really cool. But people want to see a parity in the NFL, want to see a new team, new league, because the ratings go up. And anytime a new team comes in, it's like, no, man, like I like it when the Patriots were the Patriots. I loved it because then you either like the Patriots or you freaking hate the Patriots. Like, gosh dang, man, it's the Patriots again. Dang it, it's Tom Brady again. Dang it. Like, I think you feed off that energy more so than every new year it's a new person, new team. 90s Bulls, also Michael Jordan took it to another level. He did. Yep. Scottie Pippen, John Paxson, BJ Armstrong, number 10. John Paxson was number 5. Cliff Levingston, number 53. Will Perdue, number 32. Who else did they have there? Ron Harper, number 9. That was later, though. That was like more 98. That was at Seattle Supersonics finals, I think. I think that was 98. But yeah, early 90s, man. Like, that was the squad, bro. Like, the Bulls were freaking. Jeez. Horace Grant, number 54. Remember him? Braden Springer says, this is a Raiders live stream, dude. He's like, dude, let's talk about the Raiders. Do you think Raiders trade up to number 3? No, I don't. They trade down. I think that's smoke that they're going to trade up to number 3. And if CJ Stroud is sitting there. Now, if Bryce Young is there at 3, I think they trade up to 3 for Bryce Young, but not for CJ Stroud. Now watch them go up and trade up to number 3 for CJ Stroud. I think they're going to trade down. Daniel Kim says, I watched the LA Boston rivalry specials and still got mad at what happened like it was now. That was my childhood. My wife saw my fandom. I don't know anything that has a shamrock or Boston green. I also never wore orange and never wear Halloween colors together. Bleed blue. Oh, interesting. Dang, you're that serious, bro. See, I'm telling you, man. People are serious about their. It's almost like a gang. What set you from? Like, oh my gosh, we're talking about sets. If you guys don't know what a set, I'm not going to talk about that. What's a set? You guys are going to Google. What's a set? Oh my gosh. I also never wore orange. I never wear Halloween colors together and bleed blue. Dodgers. I get it. All right, there's 20 of you guys watching it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Smash the like button. And I just want to give a special shout out to those who supported me through a super chat and super sticker, along with the likes, comments, and engagement. So just give a special shout out before you head out. Thank you, JCSD, for the super chat and super sticker. I appreciate it. On to Six Soldier. You sent me a couple. One on the last live stream that timed out, and this one. So thank you so much for the super chat and super sticker. I appreciate your question and honest feedback as it pertains to the silver and black. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I had a lot of fun on this live stream. I hope you guys had a lot of fun on this live stream. We will hop on tomorrow for another Pick 6 at 6 p.m. live stream as we keep things hot, covering all things silver and black. Take care for now. That's it. BEASTwriter.